Hey everyone, this is Darrell W. Brown. Thank you for watching another episode of the DBCam, my online journal that I post right here on youtube.com/the DBCam, youtube.com/the DBCam. I'm glad that you have taken some time to spend with me today. Well, what do I want to talk about this afternoon? If you hear some noise in the background, it's actually a little plastic Coke bottle that once I got through with it, I gave it to Stonewall Jackson, my little Boston Terrier, and he just loves playing with little plastic Coke bottles. So if you hear that noise in the background, that's good old Stonewall Jackson. Well, it was a good weekend. Amy and I went up to her parents' house. As I've said many times before in my Facebook status updates, I just have wonderful in-laws. They are great people. I'm not just saying that to suck up, to kiss up, or anything like that. They're really good people. They live up in Horseshoe Bend, Arkansas. It's up in north central northeast Arkansas. It's near Hardy, Arkansas. So it's pretty close to the Missouri-Arkansas borderline. And they live on a lake up there. It's called Crown Lake. It's a beautiful lake. It's not a very big lake compared to Greer's Ferry or Lake Washita or anything like that, but it's a pretty good sized lake. It's very beautiful, very clear, very calm usually. They have a party barge and a jet ski that we go out on, and we just have a great time. My mother-in-law, she's a wonderful cook, so you can always expect first thing in the morning that you're going to get a good breakfast, much better than you would eat at any restaurant. Let me tell you, it's good stuff. My mother-in-law also runs a little country music show up there in an old abandoned movie theater. It's called Music in the Mountains at the Horseshoe Bend Theater. It's a little country music show that they do about once a month. It's typically country music, like I said, but it's people from all over with various talents, singing, playing music, playing instruments. They even had like a cheerleading dance team come up and do some dancing or something the other night. It was pretty crazy, and I was a part of it. I got to be the announcer for the show, and I also did an impromptu acoustic guitar version of an old Ricky Nelson song called Garden Party. And everything was going great, but I botched up some of the lines. The lyrics totally left my brain, and I had to make something up. My mother-in-law was kind enough to say that nobody really noticed it, but to me it was pretty obvious. So I was a little down about that I didn't get it right. But it overall went okay, and I had a great time. I loved getting on the stage and playing guitar and doing my best to entertain people, or at least try to entertain people. So it was a good weekend. Got a little bit of sunburn, not too bad, but everything was great. Everything was great. So thank you to my father-in-law and mother-in-law for another wonderful weekend in beautiful Horseshoe Bend, Arkansas. Um, the other day, somebody was asking me about wrestling. They know that I talk a lot about pro wrestling on here. And they asked me if I ever watched TNA Impact Wrestling. It comes on Thursday nights on the Spike Television Network. And I told them I don't. I don't like TNA Wrestling. I think it is uh, pretty much unwatchable. I used to TiVo it to record it on Thursday night because Big Brother comes on and then watch it maybe the next day or over the weekend. But I just got to the point where I stopped because it was so bad. It is so bad. And part of the reason it's so bad is because it is headed up by a man by the name of Hulk Hogan. Now, if you know anything about wrestling, you have heard of Hulk Hogan. Back in the 1980s, there was no bigger star than Hulk Hogan. Even in the late 90s, I would say there was no bigger star than Hulk Hogan, maybe except for Stone Cold Steve Austin or The Rock. They might have been a little bit bigger than Hulk Hogan, but not much. He is no doubt the biggest star in the wrestling industry. And I've been a huge fan of his. He was my childhood hero back in the 1980s. And to prove it, I want to show you some of my collection to show that I'm a full-fledged Hulkamaniac. Here, let's get it on camera there. There was my very first Hulk Hogan action figure with the old WWF belt. It's dated there on his tights there. You probably can't see it. 1984. So this is a true collectible. This is a true classic right here. My first Hulk Hogan action figure. And here's another old Hulk Hogan action figure of mine back from the 1990s. You can see. Had the Hulk Hogan action figure. What else do I got of his? Let me see. I just pulled it out over here. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Got the official Hulk Hogan bandana here. Official Hulk Hogan bandana, Hulkamania, that sometimes I wear around the house. Got a replica of Hulk Hogan's championship belt, the WWF World Heavyweight Championship. What else do I got of Hulk Hogan? I got something else of his. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. When I went to a WWF match back in 1986, I still have the program. There he is, Hulk Hogan. What else do I got over here? Oh, I got a big poster of it. I don't think I can fit it all here on the screen, but this is an old poster of Hulk Hogan. There we go. Hey, brother, what you gonna do when Hulkamania runs wild on you, brother? So, as you can tell, I'm a true diehard Hulk Hogan fan, but I gotta tell you, the man is 58 years old. He's 58. He turned 58, I think, not last week, but maybe the week before last. He's got to give it up. I'm not saying 58 is old, because I know a lot of people that are 58 years old that are in fine condition, that are in much better condition than myself. But him going out there and holding down the young talent and not letting other people succeed, and him hogging all of the time and all of the show, it's just terrible. It's really terrible. He's really killing his legacy, in my opinion. He should have retired years ago. He's got plenty of money to live off of, more money than you and I will ever have in our lifetimes. He makes money probably still off these old 1984 Hulk Hogan dolls. It wouldn't surprise me. So he just needs to step aside and let the younger talent do their best to get over. And so that's the main reason I don't watch TNA anymore, because when I watch it and Hulk Hogan is everywhere, he's all over that show, not only does it upset me because he's not letting the younger talent get over, but it just makes me sad that he's become kind of a sad parody of himself. I wish he would just fade away into the distance and just go out on a high note. So that's the reason I do not watch TNA Impact Wrestling. I stick with WWE Raw, but I don't know how much longer I'm going to be watching that. They have totally botched the storyline with my guy CM Punk, who made me fall in love with wrestling all over again. And boy, Stonewall is having a field day with that Coke bottle. We buy him all these toys at PetSmart and Walmart, all these high-dollar toys for him to play with, but it takes $1.25, little plastic Coke bottle, and that's all it takes. That's all it takes to keep him occupied. So he's loving that Coke bottle. But yeah, Hulk Hogan, I just wish he would step aside and let some of the younger talent make a name for themselves. Because Hulk's already made his name. He's in the Hall of Fame. He's in the record books. He's in the annals of wrestling history. So Hogan, it's time for you to go, my friend. I love you. You were one of my heroes growing up as a kid. I said my prayers. I took my vitamins. I trained hard. Well, maybe I didn't train so hard, but I did all the things that you asked me and all the other Hulkamaniacs to do, brother. But now it's time for me to ask you to please step aside and let the new guys get a chance to get over. That's all I have to say today. On Monday, August the 23rd. It's not Monday, it's Tuesday. What am I saying? August 23rd, 2011. Take care. God bless, and we'll see you on the next episode of the DBCam. Yeah, brother.